Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Carter. A former jail kitchen worker is expected in court today on sexual assault charges. The Vernon County Sheriff reports 32-year-old Amanda Bjornstad of Viroqua was arrested yesterday. She's accused of having sexual contact with an inmate while working for the detention center's food service vendor. Bjornstad faces potential charges of second-degree sexual assault and criminal threats. She's expected in court today and is also being held on a separate electronic monitoring violation from Richland County. I-94 is back open this noon hour after an early morning shutdown. A fire closed both directions. Here's some footage of that. This is in Jackson County shortly after 5 a.m. as crews work to extinguish that semi-fire. The closure affected the stretch between U.S. Route 12 and County Road O. All lanes have now reopened to traffic. La Crosse firefighters quickly containing a house fire yesterday. Crews responded to a structure fire in the 900 block of Adams Street around 2:30 p.m. Officials say the lone resident was able to escape, but they were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Firefighters arrived in just over 3 minutes and prevented the flames from spreading beyond the first floor. No word on the cause, and the Red Cross is assisting the family while they're displaced.
All right, let's take a quick peek here what I've got going on for you here. We're going to slide right into what's going to be happening over the forecast here. We're going to be taking a quick look here at Eau Claire and La Crosse over in Onalaska, if this does pop up for me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We're also going to be looking at the possibility of some good-looking roadways. There's a good look at Eau Claire as well. They've got some milky skies out there with the winds already starting to tick in. You're also going to be seeing wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour plus. Above average temperatures are expected today, getting into possible record-breaking heat. Storms in the forecast as well later on tonight, but you will come across a shower or two later on into the early evening hours going into your evening commute. High temperatures you can see mostly 70s and 80s once you get down to the central and southern portion of the location, but you get to Eau Claire, they're at 72 degrees, but 56 up by Ladysmith. We could see a record coming in for La Crosse today, 82 degrees potentially. The record was 80 degrees back in 1986. All right, so that being said, we take a look here what's going on as far as temperatures are concerned. Eau Claire has again cloudier skies becoming into the latter portion of the afternoon, holding on to some sunshine all the way into La Crosse with increasing clouds later on in the day. When I come back, we'll have an overview of how this all shapes up for you, so please stick around.
And a quick reminder for you, you can track weather where you live by downloading the First Warn Weather app. You can find it in the App Store or on Google Play. Billionaire Elon Musk now says he plans to personally deliver million-dollar checks to Wisconsin voters. Musk announcing he will hold a rally Sunday to give $1 million each to 2 voters in the state's hotly contested Supreme Court race. Musk's Political Action Committee has already spent more than $20 million supporting conservative candidate Brad Schimmel. Critics question whether these payments violate state law prohibiting giving anything of value to induce voting. There has been no mention of where in Wisconsin he'll be visiting. The Vice President, Second Lady, and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz are traveling to Greenland amid the fallout from the group Signal chat gone public. Sources telling CBS News President Trump behind the scenes is venting his irritation. Natalie Brandt with the latest from the White House.
Vice President J.D. Vance and the Second Lady left for Greenland Friday. Despite pushback from residents and leaders there, President Trump has had his eye on the semi-autonomous Danish territory for what he says are national security reasons.
One way or the other, we're going to get it.
Also making the trip, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. But back in Washington, the fallout is only escalating. Following the revelations this week, a military operation was discussed over the non-government approved messaging app Signal. Waltz inadvertently invited Atlantic editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg to the group chat.
They had an opportunity to just accept that they made a mistake, tell us how they're going to fix the mistake, and then move on, but they instead went on this weird kind of attack.
While publicly, the administration insists President Trump maintains confidence in his national security team, behind the scenes, sources tell CBS News that the president is privately venting. One official says the issue is still, quote, a hot potato.
A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to preserve the Signal group chat messages where Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth disclosed the timing and aircraft to be used in a strike against Houthi rebels.
Mr. Secretary, are you going to comply with the judge's order to preserve the text?
I'm going to get on the plane.
Hegseth deflected as he left the Philippines, where he attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the Manila American Cemetery. Over on Capitol Hill, there's a bipartisan effort by the Senate Armed Services Committee to investigate classification policies at the Department of Defense. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The FAA is requiring a new safety measure after the deadly midair collision at Washington's Reagan Airport. A system that broadcasts an aircraft's position will now be required to be activated around the airport. The FAA's acting administrator was in the hot seat on Capitol Hill, questioned about how safe flying really is.
I'm saying our air traffic system needs modernization. I can assure you the flying public to fly is safe.
The NTSB says they've identified at least 85 extreme close calls at the same D.C. area airport over the last 3 years. VARC is celebrating 50 years of serving people with disabilities in our community, the nonprofit marking a half-century milestone today. Founded in 1975 with just 6 clients in a local church, VARC now serves nearly 1,000 people across the state. The organization has expanded to 13 locations statewide, offering employment opportunities, day services, and community programs. The director of client services mentioned her favorite part about working there.
That constant reminder of, why I do what I do. And truly my favorite part is just the smiles, the fist bumps, the high fives that I get from clients every day.
Today's celebration includes an employee pizza lunch and special anniversary t-shirts like you see them wearing here. Still to come for us at noon, why major automaker shares are taking a dive. And we'll have more on Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife visiting Greenland and their icy reception by locals after the break.
You wouldn't buy the first vehicle you saw.
Trust me, it's perfectly safe.
I'll take it. So don't hire the first personal injury lawyer you call.
Trust me.
Where do I sign? Object to anything less than the best. Call BGR.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin family-owned turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
Brittany Kinzer's cost-cutting policy to hire unlicensed teachers led to tragedy.
The kindergarten teacher has been arrested and charged with sexually assaulting one of his students.
This all happened inside of a classroom.
This criminal had no teaching license and had just been convicted of a gun crime.
They admitted Anderson shouldn't have been hired in the first place.
But Brittany Kinzer's long-standing policies put this kindergarten predator in the classroom. Don't let her run our schools.
Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor has immediate openings and wants you to apply. They say this job takes grit, attention to detail, and ability to work as a team. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today.
If your home is looking drab, trade it in. Trade it in. The furniture's old and yucky, trade it in. Trade it in. If you're seeking a solution, then King's your resolution. If you're tired of your look, then trade it in. Trade it in.
At King's Trade-In Sale, trade in your old recliner for $50 towards a new one. Trade in your old sofa for $100. Trade in your old mattress for $75. Plus get free delivery and 12 months no interest payments at the King Furniture Trade-In Sale.
Trade it in! Hiring the wrong personal injury attorney can cost you a lot. Researching personal injury attorneys costs you nothing. We're confident that your research will lead you to buy Goff and Rohde. BGR. Object to anything less than the best.
In our consumer news, stocks on Wall Street lost ground on renewed concerns about tariffs and the impact they'll have on the economy and U.S. companies. CBS News' Jesse Mitchell has the latest business news headlines from New York.
Shares of major automakers took a dive following President Trump's announcement he's imposing a 25% tariff on imported cars and some auto parts. General Motors stock fell more than 7%. Ford fell close to 4% in value, and Stellantis lost more than 1%. The tariffs are set to take effect next week. With Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife Usha visiting Greenland today, the focus is on the world's largest island. Because of its location and abundance of minerals, Greenland is seen as a strategic asset. Fishing accounts for most of Greenland's exports. Very little of the land is usable for agriculture because much of it is frozen. More recently, Greenland has been trying to build up its tourism industry.
The Chili's Scranton branch is open for the first time. Come on in.
Back in the U.S., fans of TV The Office may want to swing by a restaurant set to open April 7th in Scranton, Pennsylvania. The city is finally getting its own Chili's. Fans of The Office may recall that the character played by Steve Carell liked Chili's, which was featured in several episodes. Until now, the real-life Scranton never had a Chili's.
I bet they are excited. Well, coming up for us, could AI be your therapist? How research showed patients improved mental health when using AI. Up ahead, first we'll take a live look at what's happening on Wall Street. Stay with us. We're back after this.
You're thinking about new windows and doors. I've been thinking about new windows and doors for over 40 years. You're thinking about the best window at the best price. I'm thinking about the best window at the best price for you. The best quality installed by professional installers at a fair price. If you're planning new windows and doors, you owe it to yourself to contact the Board Store Home Improvements for a prompt free estimate. You'll be glad you did. Contact us today.
There's been a lot of talk about this Supreme Court race, but here's what's really at stake. Brad Schimmel wants to make sure women don't have the right to make their own health care decisions. If he wins, that right is gone. I'm Susan Crawford, a former prosecutor, a common sense judge, and a mom. And I trust women to make their own health care decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will. And that's why I'm asking for your vote.
It's that time of year. The chill is in the air. Are your floors freezing? Warm up your home with carpet from Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley. We've got the coziest, most durable carpet for your home. Come in and check out our color options, styles, and patterns. We're happy to help you find just what you need to make your home warm and cozy. Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley. Our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. Get Spectrum Internet Premier for $30 per month when bundled plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-440-0029. Spectrum Internet puts streaming live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips.
Breaking news tonight, President Donald Trump is officially weighing in.
Trump has endorsed Brad Schimmel in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Trump called the election, quote, very important.
And Trump's right. If we elect Susan Crawford to the Supreme Court, none of the good that he's trying to do nationally will trickle down to Wisconsin. I think the stakes have never been higher.
That's Trump's message to Wisconsin. This election is so important. Please get out and vote for Wisconsin's Brad Schimmel.
In your noon medical news, could an AI chatbot be your therapist? Researchers at Dartmouth tested a therapy chatbot and found it was effective at helping patients with depression, anxiety, and even eating disorders. Patients would have a text conversation with the AI through a smartphone app. Researchers say the AI still needs oversight from a real person, but it could help those who don't have access to a mental health professional. Many long COVID patients feel they have to prove their illness is real. A study by the University of Surrey found despite millions of people suffering from long COVID, patients often feel dismissed and disbelieved by healthcare providers. That can lead to people feeling less likely to seek treatment. Banning children from using smartphones and social media in school doesn't teach them how to properly use technology. A study in the UK, published in the British Medical Journal, found banning smartphones in schools didn't improve kids' mental health or classroom behavior. The study authors say more education on smartphone use could be more effective in helping children form healthy tech habits. As we head to break, we'll take a live look at CityCam 8. Art is in next with a look at our weekend forecast.
Find happiness. Find something familiar and new. Find connection. Find culture. Find community. Find yourself at the La Crosse Symphony.
Get your tickets now for Spring Pops, Brubeck, Bernstein, and the Beatles, March 29th, sponsored by Alex and Jackie Vaver at lacrossesymphony.org.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Shut up. Pivot. Shut up. Shut up. Pivot. Shut up. Pivot. Shut up. Pivot. Shut up. Okay, hold on. I don't think it's gonna pivot anymore.
Just like pivoting from heating to cooling season, it's a difficult adjustment.
Pivot in the summer, called GNT.
Pivot. Shut up.
Called GNT.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
A criminal illegal gang member abused a child here in Wisconsin. Now, President Trump's fighting back. But a liberal judge ordered deportation flights to be turned around. We don't need another liberal judge. We need Brad Schimmel, a judge and prosecutor backed by law enforcement. Schimmel protected victims and safeguarded kids. Tough on crime, unwavering in justice. Vote Brad Schimmel on April 1st. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app.
All right, well, good afternoon. It's been a busy morning, right? Hey, over the last 12 hours, so I'm taking it back to see the rain and thunderstorm activity we had. It's also had a little associated hail with this as well. You can see it one more time kind of sweeping past the area there. It came around 3 o'clock and then kind of moved across the air with a slight bow associated with that, so it really ticked up as it went closer toward the lake. All right, that being said, we take a gander at what we picked up today. Today's AM rainfall, La Crosse did about 0.02, not a lot. Some other locations like Onalaska got by 0.30, and of course, you're also looking at areas by Eau Claire, 0.02, getting into Ladysmith, a trace. Other locations like Mauston picked up 0.22. So as we get into it here, average temperatures or above average temperatures bringing in some warmth. People are out and about wearing t-shirts, as I mentioned before, already having fun out there. We're seeing temperatures in the 80s, the 70s. You go up to the north, though, you're looking at 72 to 56 degrees when you go from Eau Claire up to Ladysmith. Yeah, some colder air up there right now, still with a little mix of rain and snow kind of been sweeping across the area. As we get into the evening hours, you can see rain and snow well up to the north there, a mix associated with that as well. A little bit of light rainfall here locally as we get into the 6 o'clock hour for your evening commute, but it's not a lot. Not a lot of that's hitting the ground. However, as we bump this up, you're going to see light to moderate rainfall kick in as we get in the 11 o'clock hour. There's again the mix of rain and snow up to the north there along I-94 and above. We're also seeing down to the south here light to moderate sprinkles kind of moving in the forecast as that continues on. We'll go into Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning, picking up the light rainfall, maybe a lot of mist, maybe a lot of drizzle. That too will start to pick up again once we get into the 10 o'clock hour in the morning. You've got thunderstorm activity potentially in there. We could see some small hail associated with that. And of course, we'll see this continue to go all the way into 3 o'clock as we roll right into the afternoon hours. Now, back to it again, 6 o'clock, rolling around for folks that are out and about. You've got a mix of rain and snow over in Minneapolis, continuing to drive most of that rain and snow up to the north. That mix, though, and ice, that starts to really pick up. It drags all the way down to areas by Decorah as well as Viroqua, holding on all the way out to Vogue Field. We're in the middle of that, holding on to light to moderate rainfall associated with that as well. That'll turn into some hail, possibly moving in the forecast, continuing on all through the 9 a.m. hour on Sunday. So that's a long stretch of time going into all that rain and snow and mix. And of course, as we get into it, we're going to be seeing the temperatures just kind of plummet once we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And as we do that, we'll get into Saturday, holding on to these temperatures, 30s, some 40s, some 60s in there, 50s as well, holding on to cloudy skies, carrying over through Sunday. Once we get into that mix of rain and snow that drives back down to the south here, as we go into the 4 o'clock hour, that continues to move over La Crosse and then tracks out with snow coming in for Monday. We'll go back into the Monday night, picking up another batch of rain and snow going into Tuesday, Wednesday, and we should be maybe a shower chance moving into the, well, pretty much Thursday, Friday time frame. Here's a look at the snow amounts as we go into it. Not a whole lot, but you can see that continue on. And as we see that, most of that snow stays up to the north. We'll carry over to how this all shapes up going in for more of that snow. If you take a look, you've got 6 to 8 inches well north of I-94, getting into 2 to 4 inches as you go over to the Twin Cities towards Eau Claire, 1 to 3 inches for us in La Crosse, and then a trace down to the south to 1 inch. We'll go into more rain and snow going into Saturday and Sunday. And of course, we have that coming back again for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then we should be maybe just a trace to a touch coming back again for Thursday, Friday.
All right, but first we have a great afternoon to enjoy today.
Oh, you got
yes,
it.
Get out
evening,
there
some
and
part
enjoy
of that
it.
evening.
Yes, love it. All right, thank you, Art. Still to come, how 2 geckos are beating the odds by living roughly 3 times longer than their average lifespan. We'll have the details when we come back.
Get a sleep like no other on a handmade mattress from Heirloom at Home Sleep Express. Plus, pay no interest for 5 years and get free white glove delivery, setup, and a 120-night guarantee. Heirloom mattresses at Home Sleep Express.
Voters deserve to know what our records are.
Susan Crawford's record? Disturbing and dangerous. A 7-year-old girl sexually assaulted. The attacker faced 100 years. Crawford let him off with only 4.
I don't regret that sentence.
A 5-year-old violated. The predator should have rotted in prison. He got out in just 2 years. She protected them, not us.
I don't regret that sentence. I am proud of the work that I've done.
Susan Crawford, putting criminals over your kids.
This is the story about a little empathy. No matter where little empathy looked, it just couldn't find its place in the world. Which was sad, because it had so much to give. Then one day, little empathy made a friend. And the friend took it somewhere it would always be useful and appreciated. Welcome to a place where healthcare is all about caring. Amplify Health. A little empathy changes everything.
Protect yourself from the harsh sun with Sonesta retractable awnings and solar screens from Asher Lasting Exteriors. With over 150 fabrics to choose from and the largest sizes available, you can create shade to match your home and style. Join us for our spring open house Friday and Saturday, April 4th and 5th at either showroom in Eau Claire or Onalaska. Enjoy super spring savings with up to 25% off your entire project. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 12 months at Asher Lasting Exteriors.
Right now at Homeworld Rugs, get 10% off Area Rug sale prices. Choose from many different shapes, sizes, and patterns with Area Rug experts in every showroom to help you find the perfect rug. 10% off Area Rugs going on now at Homeworld Rugs.
The News 8 Plus app. Local news on your time. You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Welcome back. A pair of 60-year-old geckos found on a small island in New Zealand could be the world's oldest. Here they are, Antoinette and Brucey Baby. They were trapped by a team of scientists during a 5-year survey on the island of Montanao. Scientists say these geckos are at least 60 and 64. That is far older than the average lifespan of geckos worldwide, which is typically 10 to 20 years. The main reason scientists think these may have lived so long is because the island has no predators or invasive species. They look old, but they look good, don't they? Art is back with a final weather check when we come back.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Nick Swartzen.
Yeah, if you want a relaxing experience, get a massage at the airport. What a treat. The guy's like, all right, just breathe. Flight 403 to JFK! Leaving now, last call! Just breathe. Gate 24, missing child! You're in the rainforest.
Live on tour, Nick Swartzen, Toilet Head, Friday, May 2nd at Ho Chunk Gaming, Black River Falls. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Nick Swartzen.
If your home is looking drab, trade it in.
Trade it in.
The furniture's old and yucky, trade it in.
Trade it in.
If you're seeking a solution, then King's your resolution. If you're tired of your look, then trade it in.
Trade it in.
At King's Trade-In Sale, trade in your old recliner for $50 towards a new one. Trade in your old sofa for $100. Trade in your old mattress for $75. Plus, get free delivery and 12 months no interest payments at the King Furniture Trade-In Sale.
Trade it in.
The First Warn Weather app. Download it today.
The potential for breaking a record today, not out of the question. Potentially, we could do that. 82 degrees possible for our high today. The record back in 1986 was at least 80 degrees there, as you can see. More of that rain and snow coming in overnight tonight into Sunday, lasting pretty much the day. A 70% chance to an 80% chance. And then we take a quick break, getting it back into more snow Monday night, into Tuesday, and into Wednesday.
Does not seem right to go from 80s to 40s in 2 days.
It doesn't. It's like, no.
Quite the change there, but at least we've got today to enjoy. Thank you, Art, and thank you for joining us. We will see you back here tonight. Enjoy your Friday.